In 1564, Galileo Galilei is born in Pisa, Italy, into a modest family. His father, a musician and scholar, instills a respect for questioning traditional beliefs. Young Galileo grows up in Florence, demonstrating an early curiosity in mechanics and mathematics, often observing natural phenomena with a keen eye. In 1581, Galileo enrolls at the University of Pisa to study medicine, as per his father's wishes, though he soon finds himself drawn to mathematics and physics. Galileo's fascination with pendulums begins when he observes a swinging chandelier in Pisa's cathedral, leading him to explore motion and timing. In 1585, Galileo leaves the University of Pisa without a degree and begins teaching mathematics, a career that allows him to pursue independent research. In 1589, Galileo is appointed as a professor of mathematics at the University of Pisa, where he begins to challenge Aristotelian views on physics. By 1590, Galileo conducts his famous experiments with falling objects, challenging Aristotle's belief that heavier objects fall faster than lighter ones. In 1592, Galileo secures a position at the University of Padua, where he teaches geometry, mechanics, and astronomy for 18 years, a productive period in his life. Around 1593, Galileo invents a thermoscope, an early temperature measuring device, marking one of his first significant contributions to scientific instruments. In 1604, Galileo observes a supernova and writes about it, using the event to argue against the Aristotelian belief in the unchangeability of the heavens. In 1609, Galileo learns about a Dutch invention, the telescope, and quickly constructs his own, far more powerful version to explore the cosmos. Pointing his telescope skyward, Galileo makes groundbreaking observations, including the rough, mountainous surface of the Moon, dispelling the notion of celestial perfection. In January 1610, Galileo discovers 4 moons orbiting Jupiter, which he names the Medicean stars after his patrons, the Medici family, challenging geocentric views. Galileo observes Saturn and notices its strange shape, unknowingly viewing its rings but unable to identify them with his telescope's limited resolution. In 1610, Galileo publishes Sidereus Nuncius, the Starry Messenger, detailing his discoveries, a publication that brings him fame across Europe. Galileo moves to Florence in 1610, where he becomes the court mathematician for the Medici, gaining influence but also drawing scrutiny from the church. By 1612, Galileo observes the phases of Venus, providing substantial evidence for the Copernican model of the solar system, with planets orbiting the Sun. In 1613, Galileo writes a letter supporting heliocentrism, arguing that it does not contradict Scripture, setting the stage for future conflicts with the Church. In 1616, the Catholic Church warns Galileo against supporting heliocentrism publicly, declaring the Copernican model heretical. Galileo complies, but continues his research privately, though he is disturbed by the Church's resistance to scientific inquiry. In 1623, Galileo publishes the Essaya, a groundbreaking work on scientific methods and one of his most important contributions to the philosophy of science. In 1632, Galileo publishes Dialogue concerning the two chief world systems *, which argues for heliocentrism and portrays Aristotelian thinkers in a critical light. Following the publication, Galileo is summoned to Rome and put on trial by the Inquisition for supporting heliocentrism, facing charges of heresy. In 1633, Galileo is forced to recant his views on heliocentrism under threat of torture, and is placed under house arrest for the remainder of his life. While under house arrest in 1638, Galileo publishes discourses and mathematical demonstrations relating to two new sciences *, summarizing his life's work in physics and mechanics. In his final years, Galileo, now blind, continues to study and correspond with other scientists, contributing to the scientific community until his death in 1642. Galileo's ideas and discoveries, despite resistance, become foundational to modern science, securing his legacy as one of the greatest minds in history. Long after his death, Galileo's contributions are recognized by the Catholic Church, and he is honored as a pivotal figure in both astronomy and physics. Today, Galileo is celebrated worldwide as a symbol of the pursuit of knowledge and the courage to question established beliefs, paving the way for scientific progress.